everyone. I'm Tennesha, and welcome to Love Inc., brought to you by WiTreat and Best Dressed Plate. So June is Caribbean Heritage Month, and we wanted to celebrate by bringing everyone together, some of the shining stars in the Caribbean community, and celebrate these couples that are thriving together in love and business and life. So tonight, I'll be your host, along with international Soca star Kerwin DuBois. So I was born in Jamaica and currently reside between New York City and San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I'm a dating coach and television personality. And I also host the podcast Dating, Relationships, and Love. And what I love most about that is exploring the stories of love and friendship and life. So tonight, I'm going to dive deep with some of our couples about their love lives to find out how they've created and maintained a successful friendship in business and marriage. So I'll let Kerwin introduce himself as well.
Well, my name is Kerwin DuBois, heavily involved in soca music, writer, producer, singer, and a little bit of something else. Kind of really interested in finding out how these couples cope in our music business with such an intense, sometimes it could be intense, it could be, a little bit stressful, but nevertheless always beneficial in the end. So today we're going to explore that, and I'm ready.
I love couples that can actually make it all work and work together, so that essentially being together all day. So a lot of these couples have been in quarantine long before we were. So I'll introduce our couples. So we have three couples with us tonight. The first is Jules and Candace. So Jules is the founder of Caesar's Army, which is a premier event and promotion company, and they house a lot of noteworthy carnival events throughout the Caribbean. And his signature event is AM Bush, which he started in 2011. And it's really one of the most anticipated carnival events in Trinidad. And literally one of my favorite people, Rihanna, even attended. So he's also won several awards, including Emerging Entrepreneur of the Year, the Startup Award for the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce, and several other business awards. And his wife, Candace, she's taken her passion of traveling and really turned it into an experience. So she currently started a company called Candy Coated Events, and that's her travel company, an event company. And her signature event is the Wind Down, which she charters boats throughout the Caribbean. And one of her first events was in Jamaica, and she invited her husband, Jules, which is where they met and fell in love. So I'm excited to dive deeper into that. So hi, Jules and Candace. Nice to have you guys here. Our second couple is going to be Stephen and Zinaida, or Z. And they're actually newlyweds, which I love. They've only been married now, I think about less than 9 months. They got married last October. And they're joining us tonight from St. Lucia. Stephen is an award-winning DJ. He's originally from Trinidad and Tobago. And he's also won countless awards, including DJ of the Year, which he's won 3 times. And one of his biggest achievements was accompanying Bunji Garlin on his history-making tour, and also his appearance on 106 in Park. And he's also worked alongside you, Kerwin. So you guys already know each other. So
yeah. Stephen is no stranger. That's my brother.
And he's also worked with Sean Paul and Nicki Minaj. And Z is, she comes from a long line of attorneys. Her her father and grandfather are actually both attorneys. So she followed in their footsteps and became one as well. And she is the chief communications officer for the McNamara Citizenship Services, where she conducts due diligence and helps promoters and marketing agents as well. So since, everybody here is, are masters of putting on Caribbean events, hopefully they have Z's number on speed dial. And she's also the director of Exotic Events, which is an event management company known for their carnival, their events on the carnival circuit. And she's also the co-founder of Mass Giants Legends Carnival Band. And so yeah, excited to talk to them about, what it's like being a newlywed and working together. And apparently their wedding was pretty star-studded. Like everybody was there. So
yeah.
Excited to hear
about Soca style.
And then our last couple is Sam and Lisa Branch, and they're from Barbados, but joining us from New York tonight. So they started Branch Patty, which is Jamaican style patties with local ingredients and deep flavors from all across the Caribbean. And some of their most popular flavors are the Guyanese chicken curry with a turmeric crust, the vegan kale and callaloo patty, the classic beef with a paprika crust. Is anybody getting hungry yet? Because I certainly am. And so you can find them every weekend. They're at the Artist and Flea pop-ups in Williamsburg. And then their patties are also carried at Greedy Vegan in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. And Sam and Lisa, you know, their love is really rooted in patties, because when they first started dating, Sam would bring Lisa to his favorite patty spot. And that's sort of, you know, how the idea for Branch Patties started. So, you know, a lot of my male clients will often ask me, how do I attract a good woman? And I say, feed her. And so, see, it works. So through Branch Patty, Sam and Lisa are building a legacy for their 3 daughters, and they really stress creating and building excellence as a people. So welcome, everyone. And it's really great to have you all here. And I can't wait to dive in.
But Tennesha, before we get started,
yes,
we have a special video for the couples.
Okay.
So let's get to that special video one time. Let's go.
Okay, so I think we had a little bit of an issue with the video there, and I apologize that you guys were not able to hear that, but we will try to pull that up and have that come in at the end. But let's get started with an icebreaker so we could learn a little bit more about the couples we have with us tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called Actually Curious. So a friend of mine who is Jamaican, his name is Mike Tennant. He started this company called Actually Curious, and there are these cards. And so I'm going to pick a card, and then I will ask one of you to answer it. Okay, so the first one is, let's celebrate you. Tell us 3 big wins you had this week. Why don't we start with you, Jules?
You asking me a question. Can you repeat that?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the first card is, and this is for you, Jules. Let's celebrate you. Tell us 3 big wins you had this week.
3 big wins.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or you guys could split them up.
She has broken her foot, so I've been able to take care of the home. That's a big win for me.
That's a win.
I'm taking care of everything in the house.
Yeah, I would say that's a win for me too. So
you're doing all of it?
Yeah.
Okay, good for you.
I'm known to be killing plants, so I've been taking care of all the plants. I think that's another big win for not just me but the family.
So I am thriving and my plants are surviving.
Hey, surviving is a win right now. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next question and give this one to another couple. Hopefully, I don't know, we won't go to that one yet. That one might be for the end. Okay, what are 3 crucial routines that you keep? We'll give this one to Z and Steven. Or I'm sorry, to Z and Steven.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Z. How are you?
Hi. Ooh, okay. Routines. Ooh.
Crucial. Pick one. You can go after.
Okay, you first.
One crucial routine that we do keep is, and this is a habit.
I'm scared.
Whenever we vex, have to sleep in the same bed.
Yes.
Can't sleep in the next room. Can't sleep downstairs on the couch. Always sleep in the same bed. That's very crucial. That's a routine too.
Yes.
So, you have to talk or just be present?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jeff.
That's one.
What else do we do?
You do the next one?
Yeah, go for it. He's very good at this, Claire.
I make her tea every morning. Very
Crucial.
Every morning. I make her go downstairs and I make her tea.
Crucial.
Very crucial.
Critical.
Very crucial. She needs her voice to talk in the day, So
yes.
Crucial.
That's awesome.
Oh gosh, I'm being really bad at this. Another, I would say the last thing that is very critical, we always eat together, though. We make a point of having dinner together always. So that's something that we just do. And it allows us after a busy day just to unwind and have a discussion and, just, catch up on the things that we may have missed during the course of the day because we're both running different directions sometimes. So that helps. And that's pretty crucial, I would say.
So have you guys ever heard the Kevin Hart stand-up where he talks about new couples?
Yes, we went to Kevin Hart's show. Didn't he do it in that one for New Year's? Yeah, we're familiar.
So the one joke he has, he's like, new couples sometimes make me so sick because they just do everything together. And he's like, they'll just eat every single meal together. They're like, you take a bite, I take a bite, we'll do it like that.
We like that.
So I'm just picturing you guys sharing a whole meal, like you take a bite, I take a bite.
Yes, exactly. It happens. I'll confess.
She picks from every plate I have, every single plate. No matter if I take out her food, it's bigger. I give her the nice lobster, I take a small little crab for me. She still want piece of my small
I'm
crab.
a taster.
What's mine is mine, what's yours is ours. All right, so I'm going to pick one more, and this is going to be for Sam and Lisa. Okay, nothing says I love you like fill in the blank.
Ooh. For me, I'd say coffee in the morning.
I was going to say that. If he fixes
my coffee, then
that's a routine.
We're off to a good start. That's a necessity. If I don't have coffee, do not talk to me. I think that's a must.
And for me, I mean, I'm simple. Just give me a little space. Sometimes in the daytime, just to unwind, and if I had a busy day, I just want to relax. So sometimes just a little space. That's all I need.
A little time in his man cave.
I'm interested to hear how you've been surviving quarantine then, if you always need a little space.
Well, the man cave.
Well, that's been tough. You know, I mean, it's funny because for Father's Day, I've been trying to build this little man cave thing I got here in my garage, and they gave me my girls gave me this chair. It's like a special chair, but to me it was so special because it had all these pockets and all these things for me to hold my drink and this and that. And it seemed so simple, but it was so thoughtful. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's all I need. Something just as simple as that. I mean, it was really a thoughtful gift. So that's all I need.
How old are your girls?
We have a 17-year-old going on 18. Yeah. We have a 10 going on 11. And a 5 going on 6. Sometimes I forget, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what I would love to hear is just about the origins of your relationships. So since I have you on, Sam and Lisa, why don't we start with you guys? Now, I know like when you guys first met, you know, Sam, you would take Lisa to your favorite patty restaurant, and that's kind of how you guys got started. So tell us about how that all came together.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we both went to college in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's where we met, Boston.
That's, you know, we actually met between like at a Jill Scott concert, and then we met again at a Boston Carnival, and that's our memories, you know. And we met there, and several years later when we were dating, Lisa's from Massachusetts. She lived up in Massachusetts where I was in New York, so she would come to New York a lot, and we would just go on these dates to these, you know, eating patties and all kinds of West Indian food, whatever we can find. I mean, I've always been really appreciative of food, of good stuff, but I was a career changer. I was actually in music first. I went to college for music. So when I got out of the music industry, I decided to go to culinary school, and Lisa was always there by my side, kind of supporting me. She was doing her own thing at the time, and we came together, and over time we just started realizing that we loved going out to eat, and it's something that we really did. When I was in culinary school, you know, I was always into trying new restaurants. She would go with me. And we started to build like that. And I guess
from when we were in Boston, we would go and get Haitian food. We would get Jamaican. We would get whatever, Cuban.
Whatever.
And then when I moved to New York, when we got engaged, we went to Christie's. That was our party spot.
That was our spot on Flatbush Avenue.
Yeah, before they shut down.
Before they shut down. It was, you know, and that held like a big place in my heart because that was a place. When I would come up from Barbados, and my mother lived in Flatbush at the time, I would visit this particular place, and I grew up on it. It was around for 40 something years.
Wow.
So, and there was no idea of a business at that point. It was just, this is some place that we love. This is a place I used to go when I was 8 years old on Flatbush Avenue. And I introduced it to her, and we just loved it, and we shared that common bond. And over the years, coincidentally, we ended up on doing exactly that. You know what I mean? It's actually an interesting story over the years, what we dealt with that.
Yeah, well, later on, we're going to hear more about that because I'd love to dive into how you guys got started with Branch Patty. So Jules and Candace, now you guys fell in love after Candace invited you, Jules, to one of the events she was throwing. Now, did you guys fall in love at the same time? Like, how was that?
Not exactly. I don't know where that story. But that story changed along the way. What happened was I was studying in Jamaica, in UWE at the time, and Jules, I met him briefly in Trinidad, and when I went back to Jamaica for school, there was Heroes Weekend happening. So that's typically, you know, a party weekend, and I invited Jules to come and experience this party weekend because he was in the entertainment business, and he came, and yeah, I think we both fell in love at the same time.
She was a photographer then.
Yeah, I was a photographer for Trini Scene. Yep. Yeah, we did.
And how long have you guys been married now?
3 years.
Gonna be 4.
Gonna be 4 in October. So we got married on the same Heroes Weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So Z and Steven, as I mentioned before, you guys had a huge star-studded wedding. How did the planning go for your wedding to pull off something that big?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's a touchy subject. I have a particular. We both wanted to have a wonderful wedding. We both had a bit of a vision. Stephen pretty much dealt with the entertainment side of things, so all the good, fun vibes you can say that was on him, because he really sorted out and made it a fantastic celebration. I was more with the decor and everything else. So yeah, it was really, I mean, everybody says that your wedding is always the best day of your life, and sometimes it sounds so cliche, but it really, really was that for us. I think I can say we had a wonderful time, and it was just full of love, and everybody who was there was just literally family and friends, and it was a great time. So yeah, I'm glad everybody got to appreciate it for that.
I would have loved to have seen the dance floor of that wedding. I know it was lit.
Yeah, that was pretty something afterwards.
Oh.
The next set, you mean.
So let's dive in a little bit to how you guys all work together. Kerwin, you want to take over?
I mean, who I could direct a good question to? This one is off the record. This is just in the head. All right. I will go with Jules and Candace. Yeah. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Blessings on the birthday as well.
Say that again?
Blessings on the birthday.
Yeah, man. Much thanks. Every day is my birthday. So my whole question is, was your relationship triggered by the vision that you guys could have become something in the near future through business? Was it inspired and motivated by the possibilities of you guys becoming one, becoming strong, and living the dreams that you always had dreamed about?
I think how it really ignited itself was you felt that we had the same passions. Right. So it's like, yes, they may have the same interests in terms of the events and so forth, but it's basically we aligned through the passion. So yes, let's just say Candace may be very keen on hospitality. Mm-hmm. And that's where I learned from her in terms of how she treats her clientele. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Candace may have a different, get a different connection from me. Maybe it is that I love my entertainment. Mm-hmm. So in terms of my artists and who I would select, she would come to me and be inspired by that now. So I don't think like we were always looking to say that this relationship was really strengthened by, we are both in events and we could see a future in terms of business. I think we were intrigued and we were aligned by our similar passion, yes, but it's really the connection between the both of us, having the ability to conversate, having the ability to bounce off ideas and brainstorm. It's like she's the other half of me and I'm the other half of her. So it was like that connection that really created this relationship. And, really and truly, I think and from a business perspective, we don't really, I don't think that we really try to push a business side of us. It's more like a tag team?
More like personal development so that we could both reach our own goals, but using, my abilities and Jules' abilities, we build each other, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. All right. So my next question again, off the records for Big Z and Steve-O. Is it valuable and very important for you to share an idea together and be inspired and motivated or crushed by the reaction and the response of, whichever one involved? Z, if you were to present an idea to Stephen, if you were to present an idea to Z, are you looking for a kind of reaction that will be that big deal breaker in that vision that you might have? Let's say you want to put on this massive event and you come with all these big structures, all these things, and he didn't or she didn't give you the reaction he was looking for. how important is that, the opinion and fuel of the other?
For it.
Yes and no.
Mhm.
I think where Z and I are good. I'm a big thinker, so I always have a million ideas.
Mhm.
However, she's that person to anchor me and to reel me in. You know, I feel like I could fly,
Mhm.
you know, and she would say, well, yes, babe, you can fly, but you have to fly on an airplane. You know, you can't just jump off the roof. No, it's true.
Right.
So, you know, for me, you know, sometimes I come with that expectation, as you would say, that, okay, I need her to be excited about this idea so that I know I can move forward with it. And then sometimes she don't really give the response I'm looking for, but that doesn't discourage me fully anymore. In the early part of our relationship, I think I used to take offense to it. But now I don't, because I understand now that that's my balance. You know, she could break it down to me and show me, all right, listen, all right, I'm with you. I will fuel the plane for you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? To fly. But don't just jump off you. So I think hopefully that answers your question.
And Z, any ideas you brought to Stephen that he actually just like, nah, that ain't good. So how, if there was ever that moment, how did it feel?
Well, go ahead, babe. Oh, right. So, well, I mean, I am, you know, I'm a planner, so I take a certain approach to the way I think. And as Stephen would say, so he comes with all the crazy grand ideas, and I will take it step by step and break it down. Sometimes he actually reels me in and is like, oh, you're just killing the whole vibe. But you know, I think we can say fairly that we balance each other in that regard, because we both have, he's very big and out there and creative, and I'm quite very logistical and strategic. So it's just a balance. And again, that's something that works really well for us. And likewise, I think Jules was alluding to the same thing. We both bring separate elements to the relationship and to our projects that helps them thrive.
Right. All right. Tennesha, be quiet. Back to you.
Together. So how do you separate, you know, the work stuff from the personal stuff? Like, do you ever create times where, you know, branch patty conversations are off limits?
That's an ongoing battle for us.
All the time.
Honestly, we've been together for such a long time, but that's still an ongoing battle. It's like that struggle for balance, because it's really his vision and his passion, and I'm here to assist in it. So I think it's hard for him to turn it off. I always say I'm off the clock, or it's time to shut it down.
I'll talk about it all night.
For him to do it.
I'll talk about it all night.
Yeah, if I let him, he would never shut it off.
I mean, I get obsessed with just the business, and I mean, sometimes that's not too good, but you know, I go to sleep talking about it. I wake up talking about it. I'm driving, I'm talking about it. I'm doing other projects, I'm talking about it. So that's a challenge for me. But we're working every day. I mean, we've been married now 14 years, and I mean, you know, I think because of our long marriage, I've learned how to balance my life with my family. But it's something that I must admit I'm working with.
Yeah.
The day where, Sam, you don't mention the word branch patty.
Wait, what happened? You were muted. I didn't hear what you said.
No, I said it sounds like you guys need like an hour each day where you don't get to bring up branch patty.
Yeah.
In the evenings, usually I'll say, okay, let's table that. Let's shut it down.
But
I have to be the enforcer for that, because he just.
Yeah. But, you know, as a couple, though, I feel like, you know, we live together, especially now with the pandemic happening. Branch patty was everything. You know, that's all we talked about, because we had all this time to focus and strategize. And I think that was a good thing. But now as we're transitioning into this time where New York is trying to get back to normal, and the kids aren't doing online school and things like that anymore, I'm also trying to pull back a little bit and get back to a little more balance now that we're normal, you know?
That's awesome. So Candace and Jules. Candace, you have a passion for travel, and you've built a whole career around it. Are you and Jules the same type of traveler? So how there's one person that's typically the planner and like we're doing this on this day and very scheduled, and then there's another person that's like, I'm on vacation, I'm asleep. Are you guys the same type of traveler, or are you guys different?
We are not the same type of traveler. I like to explore, to make the best use of my time, to maximize my time in different places. Jules, he's a pretty easygoing, really take it easy, we'll take it everything in its time kind of thing. I'll wake up when I wake up. So vacations are really it's really technical for us. But when I work, because I do travel for work, then that's a whole other ball game, I try to be the boss at that point, and I'm like, you have to get up at a particular time and you have to show up because it's work now for me, and he tries his best when it's work, but at vacation time, he's just laying out.
I think it's vacation, so I get confused that it's her job. So
we are not the same type of traveler, and it causes many problems. But we love each other and we're working it out.
I'm with you, Jules. I think vacation is to do whatever you want, and if that is sleeping in Paris, then so be it.
Exactly. But I get buffed because she has her clients, and I'm there. I'm always late to the lobby. I'm late to come back on the shuttle. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying her life, but I guess it has an impact.
Then he says, at that point, he tries to be a customer, and I'm like, can't win with this guy.
Oh. So, most of us have been in quarantine for the last 3 months and have been around our partners 24/7. Now, Z and Steven, I know that you guys are newlyweds. So having spent all this time around each other nonstop for the last 3 months, is there anything that you've learned about each other that either surprised you or that you just didn't know before?
That's a good question.
Survived. That's the starting point. And we made it.
I don't think she knew I could cook for her.
Oh, yes, that's true. Whoa, he's totally impressed me with his cooking skills every single day. It's caused me to put on a ton of weight. Look at my arms, and now I'm like, oh, God. So, but it's very good cooking, and I'm glad to know I have a husband who can cook. I don't have to do any of that, so that's a great thing for me. What else?
What I learned about you, right? Nothing new, no? Same thing. She, watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, chill. I'm a Jules. I'm very chill and laid back. So
and when they were saying, I was laughing so hard because I'm like, I'm so Candace and she is so Jules. Exactly. I mean, quarantine for us was interesting because we got to actually she wanted me to watch some of these
billionaire all these shows
that she wanted. So I have obviously had to sit down and watch some of that. Even though I didn't want to, I had to do it. But I actually enjoyed it in the end. She had to try all the foods that I was trying. I make doubles, all kind of things. She had to try because some of these things I was learning for the first time as well, and she was my food taster. But I don't think we necessarily learned anything new. I feel like we learned to cope better with each other. We learned to give each other that space. And I would go do my work. I'm a workaholic. She would just leave me in my space, come check on me every now and again, and that's it. I don't think we learned anything new necessarily, did we?
No, not particularly. It was good. And as I say, at the end of it, we managed to survive because it really was the first time that Steven and I have actually been in each other's space or lived with each other for so long, because he's always in and out of the island, or I'm with him tagging along, or we're traveling somewhere. So it was like really the first time he was home. And so it was really nice to see him, enjoy being home and, the dogs and all the cooking in the kitchen and all that stuff. So I got to see that side of him, and, it was really, really nice, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, and actually we married a year. We're going on 2 years
Yes.
in October. You said almost a year. We're going on 2 years in October.
Yeah, 2 years in October.
October too.
Yeah.
Are we button something there? Come on. There's some kind of credit there. We don't pass our whole section.
Yeah, we made it, yeah. Bless.
Candace, did you guys learn anything new about each other throughout this quarantine?
I don't think we learned anything new. I think it was an ability for us to step outside of our comfort zone and challenge, the ability to be ourselves more and learn to live with each other, more, So I think for us in marriage, we always, I think we came to a point in marriage where we decided that, marriage is something that it has to work. We have to make it work. So, maybe in the beginning there could have been like disagreements that we allowed, but now, it's not disagreements that we allow because we have to work it out. So for us in COVID, I think it was a really big opportunity for us to like be ourselves and to accept each other within that period and grow because, we have to accept this is the person that I married and COVID is just the prime time for us to get used to each other and to accept it. So I would say that, it was a step forward in terms of our deepening our relationship with each other.
Oh, you kind of have to deal. How about
a test? A test of your relationship.
me and my boyfriend boiled it down to the fact that we've run out of things to argue about. So it's just sort of like the same loop, and we're like, okay, we visit this already. All right, new thing.
It's like.
So this is a question for all of you, but how did you know that your spouse was the one? Like, was there a moment, or was it just, throughout time it sort of came to be? But was there a moment that you said, I think this is the person for me?
I think that's easy. I saw her and I just knew. I mean, I know it sounds so cliche, but I really think that's what it was. I saw Lisa at a concert, at a Jill Scott concert, through a mutual friend. And I was like,
we were both with other people at the time.
Yeah, but I was like, who is that? I mean, straight up, I was like, who is that? And a year or two will go by again before we cross paths again. Mm-hmm. And when I saw her at Boston Carnival, I was just like, it's a wrap. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that.
So did you, at that point, did you just think, I want to get to know her, or did you think that's the woman I'm gonna marry?
No, it wasn't marriage. It wasn't that. But I knew that I wanted to get to know her. And honestly, I'll be real, it wasn't even sexually. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just straight up that I saw her and I had to know who she was. And wherever that would lead to, we would later find that out. But it was just, I needed to know who she was. So I knew.
Oh,
for me, I don't think it was that as straightforward. I don't.
Yeah, it wasn't straightforward for her.
Yeah, he had to win me over a bit.
I had to work. I worked real hard, more than I ever did in my life. She was in Massachusetts. I was in New York, and I used to hop on they had these Chinatown buses that would go from Chinatown to Boston, and I would work late at night, hop in the studio, 11 o'clock at night, hop on a Chinatown bus to Boston, and I would do that, and I did that for a few years. I mean, that's how serious I was.
A good woman's worth it.
Yeah. So, I got daughters, so I tell my daughters all the time, you better let them work, man. I tell them that all the time. Right. I tell them that all the time.
How about the rest of you? Was there a moment for you?
Well, for me, I'm going to let the story out the bag. She booked me for an event. So I came back to St. Lucia. That was my second time in St. Lucia. And that was it. Like, I was supposed to leave the next day, change flight, everything, spend time. To be honest, nothing happened, but, because she was involved, I believe. But I was gone. That was it for me. I knew. And I started making my plans from early. This is who I wanted to be. And, yeah, no turning back from there. You?
I think, I think, well, yeah, I was in a relationship at the time, so I had to be very careful with my movements and my words. But I think you know, the fact that he wanted to stay and get to know me better, and you know, similar to Sam, you know, just wanting to know more about this urge to want to know about someone more. It was really interesting, and it was important as well. And in him doing so, it really just appealed to me. And I saw that he was such a gentleman, and he was just, you know, his relationship with his kids. I got to really find out about him. And everything fell into place. It was, and after that, we just couldn't really not be around each other.
I love it when a man is just so sure. We got some sure men on here. I love it.
You do. It's impressive.
I knew she was the one because when she invited me to Jamaica for Heroes Weekend, I was in Jamaica before that. So my father became principal of the Norman Manley Law School, and I was there, and I absolutely hated Jamaica. So I actually came back to Trinidad. And then Candace invited me to Jamaica years after that. And when I went to Jamaica, she hypnotized me. She used a spell and she hypnotized me. But she was really, she was so organized. It's like exactly what she does for her events. She was so organized from start to finish. She knew exactly what we were gonna do. She had all the plans, how we were gonna get there, what were the parties to go to. And I fell in love with this commander. She was so organized, and I really love that about her. I've never seen a woman that took control of not only her life, but life itself. And I really felt like that what really made me very attracted to her. And you know, later on, you know, as we were in this relationship, I've realized that really and truly, that is the remarkable part of Candace. Her ability to lead. And I mean, I will always say that, you know, I admire her just because of the person that she is, just the leadership qualities, how much heart she has into what she does, her passion. I think that's what makes her a remarkable woman, and that's her spell.
You know, for me, I think when Jules first visited Jamaica, like I had met him a couple of months before once, and then I didn't really have any relationship with him after that, but I just threw out an invitation to Jules, random Jules, you know, come and enjoy Jamaica, see what there is, because, you know, I know he was in the business and it would be a good thing for him to see. And when he came, I remember he came in like on the Friday, and by Saturday, I was on the phone with my best friend saying, "Who's this guy?" Like, he literally swept me off my feet, because he had I had invited him to Jamaica, and I was, of course, you know, being hospitable, but yet still he was asking me, you know, like if I was okay and making sure everything was all right. And it was just his kindness that really just grasped me, like it held on to me. And I just think that was it for me. And he was all that I could think about. But, you know, as women, I think, you know, women tend to focus when they see something that their heart, what that captures their heart, they don't really look elsewhere, you know, they have those blinders on, and it's just focused. So I remain focused on that. Him.
So, Jules, I have to ask, why did you not like Jamaica? Like, why were you hating on my home?
I just felt like I think I left at a very I want to say a popular age when I was in Trinidad. So I was like 17, 18. I felt like all my friends were there, and I was actually kind of uprooted because Dad needed company. And I was the only family member who was now finishing secondary school. So I felt like I was rebelling against the system. So I kind of made it my prerogative not to like Jamaica. But I mean, Jamaica, we got married in Jamaica. I met Candace properly in Jamaica. So like Jamaica is like my number one spot right now. So
do you love Jamaica? Let's get on the record with that.
yeah, Jamaica.
Jamaica's our second home.
Jamaica's our second home.
Okay, good. Kerwin, I'll let you jump back in with your questions.
Yes. Branch family. Branch, yes. Is there a least favorite thing or things you guys encounter working with each other? What's the least favorite thing about running that business together?
For me, I think it's probably the time that you have to really dedicate outside of family time away from the children, because 2 of our children are very young. And so when you say, oh, well, I have to do this for the business, we're doing this, to establish something for you guys, they don't get that. Our oldest daughter, she understands a lot more so, but most of the time, my younger daughters make us feel bad and like, why can't you guys do this? And why can't we go here?
They don't see it.
Yeah. So that, to me, that's usually the most difficult part, is just the time that you have to spend away, or even when we're home, when we've been home a lot more, there's a lot more time we have to spend on the computer and managing and organizing. So we're not available, not even if we're physically there, not being mentally available to play or to do the different things that they want to do. That's typically the most difficult part.
So Sam, is there something about Lisa, working with Lisa, that sometimes it just okay, like the moment like, I want to do this.
I mean,
right there.
I mean, I think it go back to the whole balance thing, right? Because like sometimes I'm always on, always on, ready, and Lisa be like, it's like, shut it off, you know what I mean? And I know I got to do something, and she's real good about taking that note out and writing that idea down.
Well, I try to time and organize things, and he is more free-spirited and creative, and so he'll just keep going, and he'll go to different points, and so
I'll just keep going.
No, let's talk about this. Let's get this done. And
so sometimes that irritates me, because I just want her to be like, let's do it. Right. And I got to remember, like, the kids are waiting on us and things like that. So that's the only thing. I would say that's what irks me.
Okay. All right. Jules and Candace, I know you guys work in a very tense industry, music industry, but is there moments where it takes away from your social life? Like really take away from your private social life? We ain't talking about, just, I know you guys have all these events going on. You're there, you'll be socializing, but at the same time, you're not fully 100% in socialization mode, because you have work to do, and we know how this could become a lot on the brain at times. Is there a moment where you just feel like, man, just taken away from me wanting to socialize?
I think for me, and I think probably for Jules for a long time before that, I got to the point where I realized that, listen, this is work now for me. Like, take for example, Carnival became work. So it's not a matter of me going out to socialize or to have fun, but it was work. So what we had to do was we had to find other means of socializing, personal, private socializing time that wouldn't take away from us, So we would take vacations where Jules would just lay out. But as we grew personally, together, individually, we started to realize that yes, this is a job and we are going out, and it does involve socialization. But what we wanted to do was just to have more deeper, meaningful contact when we go out. Even though it is work, it just became more important for us
to find new ways.
To find new ways, new places. But not just saying that yes, we're going out to socialize. We probably have to go to a fete or two. But when we go to that fete, it has to be meaningful. We have to have conversations that really would impact us, our own lives and other people's lives, you know?
Okay.
Also, I think that we even when it comes to going out now, because we always find ourselves working in our own events and having to go out and socialize, we actually pick and choose.
Right.
So we actually evaluate. So I'll be like, babe, I really think that this is going to be something innovative. I think we should go out here and check it out. But if it's something that we already understand and it doesn't really make sense, forget that. We're just going to focus on something else, because I would say 50% of our time is spent going out or in an event. We need to channel our relationship in other directions, in other avenues, you know, to get that sort of intimacy and get that sort of connection.
Okay.
So yeah.
I hear that. Big Z and Steve.
I'm wondering how you guys all handle conflict with both working together. How do you have a personal disagreement without letting it spill into the business, and vice versa? How do you have a business disagreement without, you know, bringing it home?
That's us. Who's that to?
Who's that to? Sorry.
You guys can go ahead and answer that for everyone. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you repeat it one more time? I was actually just kind of.
Oh yeah, I was asking, how do you kind of separate conflict? Like, how do you handle and separate it? So how do you not have business conflicts go into your personal time and vice versa?
I'd say Z would kind of separate it. She would kind of like shut everything down, and you know, we kind of deal with it at a specific time, I would say, to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's really learning the importance of, you know, boundaries and the differences of when we're working and when we're actually socializing. And when we are working and conflicts arise, I mean, it's just really to check each other. I mean, where we are comfortable enough with each other and trusting each other enough to say, like, yo, you need to slow down or listen or whatever, and deal with it later, because most of the time it's in the heat of things going, you know, the chaos. So it's really just trusting each other to give that input when necessary and dealing with it at the appropriate time. That's a big thing as well. Timing is everything. And sometimes when you're upset and you want to blow, it's just, you know, trying to control the feelings and deal with it later and carry on. So I would say that's what we do, really.
All right. Sam and Lisa, who most likely to make the better decisions with money financially?
Yeah.
Wow.
He passes that off to me usually.
I pass. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point we understand our strengths, each of our strengths pretty well. So for me, I'm usually logistical, administrative,
Paperwork or anything
yeah,
like that.
writing
So,
is a strength of mine, and so usually, and then invoicing and finance I usually cover as well. So he knows to just pass those things off to me.
if I don't pass it off to her, it might not get done.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you know that feeling. I'm sure the rest of the guests here can attest to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Jules and Candace. Let's see. Who is most likely to lose their phone?
I've lost my phone before, so I guess it would be.
Who most likely? We're talking most likely.
I've lost my phone on multiple occasions. It has to be me.
Candace, she's careless. I honestly don't know though. She has lost her phone historically, but I am most likely to lose my phone.
Yeah.
So
strange, right?
It's strange.
Okay. Tennesha?
Yeah. So all of you are masters at curating memorable experiences and events. So
Lord.
What is the most romantic thing that you guys have done for your partner? I'll start with you, Z and Steven.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, this is a good one.
I would say for me it would be proposing to Z.
Ooh, yeah, that one takes it.
Yeah.
That one takes it for sure. He blew my mind.
I proposed to her on the first Uber Soca cruise in front of everybody at the first event. Everyone was out. You know, I set up an entire scheme. I had them do a fake competition to give away a bottle of champagne. And so I had her favorite bottle of champagne, her favorite kind of champagne, very cool. And so, you know, she was actually there. Kerwin was right there too. Kerwin knew exactly what's happening. And, you know, it was like, he was like, you sure, man? He's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, it's going down. I don't play, please. I ring thing there, going down.
Yeah,
and she was standing there. It was crazy because she ended up saying, "Watch they call my name." You know, watch they say my name.
I actually said that because they were saying, oh, we're giving away this bottle of champagne and, you know, everybody who's attended, who's on the ship, their name is in a box and all of this. And I said, watch them call my name. And then 3 seconds later, they called my name.
No. I didn't go like that. Then she told me what she said, well, no, they can't call me because I'm a +1.
Oh, yeah, I said I'm a +1. I didn't pay to be here.
And then it was orchestrated so good. It was orchestrated so good.
I was so ashamed to go on stage 2 and take the bottle as a result.
I was so good that no one ever gets her name right.
Yes.
You know, her name is Zinaida, and no one ever gets it right. So when they asked me how to pronounce her name, I was like, no, just say it however. Right? Don't even,
totally
I'm not even telling you how to say it. So they jacked it up.
Yeah.
So all of that made the believability, you know? So everyone she believed that, this was really going on. Then we had a whole line of people following. She had no idea why. And then what made it even more special, she's a sound girl. We always clash. We always do sound clash. I always lose.
Yeah.
So she knows music and she loves reggae. So I had a Romain Virgo dub plate as the proposal song. So he sang and I did the a cappella. Private Ryan played it. And it was really, really dope. And well, she took a while to say yes. So
I didn't understand what was going on, guys. I was so confused. And even with the dub plates playing with my name in it, I had no idea. I just could not understand. It's only until I saw the ring, I said, oh shit, he's proposing. And I was like, yeah, I'll have the ring.
Yeah, no, she didn't say yes, she said, yes, I'll take the ring. Imagine that.
I said, yes, I love you. I did.
Yeah, she said, yes, I'll take the ring. Yes, I'll take the ring. It's on video, yeah? You can't lie.
Can we have a do-over? I love a do-over. I'm so sorry. I had no idea what was happening.
But that was it. That would be our the most romantic thing.
But very romantic nonetheless, yes.
So, Z, did you at all see it coming, or was it a total surprise that he was going to propose?
Total surprise. I mean, did we even discuss? We never even discussed marriage, did we?
I think one time in big conversation, like long time ago.
You know, in a moment, but I had no idea.
It was so, we discussed it so early in the relationship, or even, I don't even think we were dating at the time. I think this was discussed so early, just so random. And I even asked her about, I just asked her about like what type of diamond she liked. I got all of that detail and stored it in my memory.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly what she wanted.
I was so impressed.
And got exactly that.
So impressed, yes. I think that's what got me as well. I was like, oh shit, there's my dream ring. Oh, damn, but it was amazing. And yes, the most romantic experience of all. That one definitely takes it. I was a bit lost, but it definitely was romantic in the end.
So yes to the ring.
Yeah, basically.
Not me. Not me. She took the ring.
How about you guys, Sam and Lisa? What's the most romantic thing?
So I like this one. It was Mother's Day this past year, just a couple months ago. Obviously, we were locked in the pandemic for 2 months, hardcore here in New York. I mean, we were out doing business, but that was it. And Mother's Day came around. I was like, I got to do something really special. So I cook a lot. So Lisa, it's nothing special for me to really cook, obviously. I cook for
It still is
all
very
right, well,
special.
but I think I cook all the time. So to me, I think it's just another day. But this particular day, we are beach people. You know, when we're in the Caribbean, that's what we're doing. When we're home, it's all about the beach. So out here where we live in Long Island, we're about 8 minutes from the beach. So packed up the car. I packed up some mats that I had for the beach. I
packed a picnic. This picnic basket that I bought had been sitting in the garage for
about
over a year.
Maybe a couple years.
Finally used it.
And I finally used it. I put it together and made an amazing menu. Made some pepper shrimp and all seafood. It was all seafood. Some fried mahi and some crab legs, all seafood. And I put it together, some wine, got in the back of our car and went to the beach, and we just spent the whole evening there just hanging out. It was a little chilly, took some blankets, and
I didn't mind.
But Lisa enjoyed that. I mean, that was something I never had done. I mean, in all these years, I think we picnicked once, and that was with the kids.
And that was a very long time.
That was a very long time. So to me, that was a big deal, and she loved it, man. I mean, she loved it.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite Mother's Day. You know, flowers. The flowers are beautiful. All the other gifts, but to me, the thoughtfulness of just packing a meal, putting my favorite wine, going by the ocean, because the ocean always puts us at ease, always reminds us of, we got married in front of the ocean in Antigua. So it has a special nostalgia to it. Yeah. So every time we're stressed out, every time we want to
come up with
really
ideas,
reconnect. Yeah.
I mean, it's everything, you know.
Yeah, we go to the ocean.
Yeah, we go to the ocean. So I think that was really romantic, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It sounds like this year was your guys' best year for Mother and Father's Day.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
How about you, Jules and Candace?
You know, for me, I think what makes me really happy is doubles. And of recent, my husband has realized that, and this morning I got doubles in bed, and that's
oh, good stuff.
What's better than doubles in bed?
I honestly was not happier.
I think for me, I know Candace is a very romantic herself, but I think like for a male such as myself, I think one of the most unique things that she ever did for me is that she knows I love sneakers. And she bought me my first Yeezys.
Oh, wow.
That was really like, for a woman to understand a man who just loves sneakers and to actually go and find out exactly where to get it, what color, to me that really hits my heart. It's out of all the breakfast in bed and all the nice things that she does, I thought that was really remarkable that she went all out to find out what is really do I love and I cherish and I adore, and she found out it was a Yeezys, and she knew I was begging around for friends to get one for me, and she found one for me, and I thought that was really fantastic. So
yeah, you were looking for that for like years.
So definitely, romance comes in different ways.
Romance can come in shoes, rings, picnics, all of it. I love it.
Yeah.
So this is for you, Sam and Lisa, because you guys have been married the longest. You've been married now for almost 14 years. So what is the biggest piece of marriage advice that you would give, to the other couples and just to couples in general?
For me, I would say just to respect each other. I think that when you have a foundation of respect for each other, for who the other person is, for the value that they bring, and respecting them as your partner, not someone who you compete with, not one who's supposed to do everything for you and make everything perfect, but someone who you respect for their good and their bad, and someone who you are committed to working with as a partner for your life. I think that's one of the most valuable things, and for us, it's that respect, and I think it's our foundation of faith that we share that I think is the most invaluable thing for a couple.
Mm-hmm. And on my end, I mean, listening has been something that I've had to learn. listening to my wife, listening to my daughters, I've had to learn to listen. I grew up an only child, and I grew up very self-centered and selfish, and I would say that. And over the years, I had to come to realization that I had to, it was more than just me. Once I was married, once I had children, I had to learn to listen to my wife, because if I didn't listen, I would miss everything. And still to this day, I have to listen, you know what I mean? So there's that communication, being with each other, understanding each other, not being selfish. I mean, those are the things that I know for me that has gotten me through. And you said it's actually almost 15 years, actually, you know, we'll be, next year is 15 years, right? Mm-hmm. So it's been a while. And every year I say the least, I feel like I know you even more. Mm-hmm. Because when we got married, we knew each other, right? And these are things that I learned over time. It's like we knew each other, but we didn't really know each other. You never really, you grow and you evolve. And each year that goes by, I'm like, wow, I just love you more because I just learned something new about you. So I think it's about learning, listening, staying in communication, and knowing that it's not just about you, you know?
Being unselfish. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the other couples, I'm wondering what the best piece of relationship advice you've ever gotten is.
He told you something when we were getting married. What did he say? And I'm not even trying to set this up.
No. For me, the best advice would be communication and respect. Man. You know, I didn't really think that communicating would be, making it a priority to communicate with each other would be so helpful in a relationship. You know, sometimes you think, okay, just a little, I'll get to that later. Nah, you know, the fact that we sit down and talk about the issues, you know, I'm pissed off or she's pissed off, and we sit and we talk through it. I think that gets us to, as Sam just said, you know, I realize that, well, I love you so much more now. Like every day is like, you know, growing to love each other more because of that communication. For me, that's what my what I would say is the best advice that I got. What about you?
He just wants me to say it because I'm notorious for it, and he always say to me, "You don't listen. And Sam, thank you very much for setting that in stone there. I would say yes, that's essential to any marriage and any relationship in particular, no matter who you're dealing with, is actually taking the time to listen and understand. You know, sometimes, again, you know, you get so caught up in the way of doing things, and even as well as being fairly independent and, you know, just managing things to a certain degree, and, you know, being a little stuck in my ways. Sometimes you take certain things for granted when you don't listen. And so I think that I'm working on it. And I'm happy to say that I would agree that listening is a crucial part of everything. And it really helps. And in fact, it helps me, it helps me understand him more. And as I say, he's recognized communicating is a huge part of things as well, because that was one of my biggest pet peeves with him. He just wouldn't communicate, and the way he would communicate. So we, you know, it's time growing and learning these things. But Sam, you definitely, you know, boom, boom, thanks.
Thanks, Sam.
How about you guys, Jules and Candace?
It's a commitment to a greater purpose. It's no longer about myself. It's no longer about herself. It's about us. So I think that, I mean, I always have these conversations with some of my friends, and they ask me, you know, how is marriage and so forth. And it's no longer a selfish way of life. It's about two persons becoming one, and it's about commitment and going all the way. So for me, I've learned a lot, especially, let's just say, from dating to being engaged to being married. You know, it's all about that long-term commitment for greatness, for a particular purpose. And I think that's what's remarkable about it, because when you reach into this bond, this type of relationship, you know, there's so much further you can go with your better half. if you catch what I'm saying. So for me, it's the advice really is, it comes from thinking that, you know, there's so much more that you can do in life when it is that you have reached the stage of marriage. It's about commitment, it's about understanding, it's about learning to better each other for one purpose, and that is for us. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to add there, Mahatma Gandhi.
I think for me, I think it was more of a decision. Like I decided that, you know, sometimes when you enter marriage, you don't know what you're getting into. You probably think it's a walk in the park. You hear,
Scared.
yeah, a lot of things about it that may scare you. But for me, entering it and also hearing all those disadvantages and the cons of marriage, for me, I made a decision that, listen, I want to have a happy home. And, you know, a lot of times people tell you have to compromise. And it's not necessarily about compromise, but it's about making a decision that I cannot change this person. I can only change myself. And that was tied to me saying, I would like to have a peaceful and happy home. So it's not that we don't have disagreements, but it's a decision that I made. I'm not trying to change Jules. There may be a lot of things that he will not do that I will do. And in the beginning, it might have perturbed me, but I couldn't live like that. So I decided that, listen, I want to be happy. I can only change myself and, you know, lead by example. And my husband will follow suit eventually.
Just takes a little time, little training, little tweaking.
No, but you just have to accept. You know, you have to accept that this is the person that I married. I can't change that now, and I can't change him now. I could only change myself, and it's not about compromise. It's just about making the decision to have peace. You know.
Thank you for all that advice. That was really great, and I think the biggest piece that I got out of that was just the ability to respect, understand, and communicate, and communication being not just talking, but also taking the time to really listen and not just hear, not just like listen, but hear them and hear everything that your partner is saying and feeling. So we're going to jump into a little game. I'm going to throw out some questions, kind of a quick spitfire round, and then whoever it applies to, you either point to yourself or point to your partner, depending on who you think the question applies to, if that makes sense. So the first question, who is more likely to forget an anniversary? Okay, next one, who is more likely to forget why they walked into a room? Okay. Who is more likely to fall asleep during a movie?
Fall asleep during a movie.
He falls asleep within 5 minutes. He's
That's me for sure.
Okay. Who is better at math?
Ooh.
We're both bad at it.
I'm a reader.
Better.
I'm a little bit better.
You're a little bit better.
Me?
I am bad.
Oh, was that good? I didn't hear the question.
He answered it for you. He said you're bad at math.
Now we all know.
Okay. Who is more likely to drink more than 3 cups of coffee per day?
Ooh.
Yeah, you. Terrible.
I used to.
If I do more than 2 cups, like I'm walking around like this. I don't know how you do it. Okay, who is more likely to get up and sing on stage at karaoke?
What was that?
Say that again.
What was that?
Who is more likely to get up and sing on stage at karaoke?
Sing on stage at karaoke.
Me, I guess.
Yeah.
He would never do
I
that.
wouldn't do that.
Right there.
Who is more likely to forget the passport at home when traveling?
Definitely that.
He's the trip organizer. Yeah.
I organize all the trips.
Who is more likely to lock themselves out of the house?
What?
Knock themselves out. Yeah.
She'll stop me though.
More like
You did that the other day, I'm sure, though. Didn't you?
don't try that.
It's either your keys or his wallet. He forgets every day.
Who is more likely to leave a generous tip?
Generous tip.
Generous.
We're both generous.
We're both equally generous.
Yeah, I
We do a good job.
Okay, who is more likely to swear at the TV?
What?
Oh, swear at the TV.
Swear at the TV.
Yeah,
swear at the TV.
Because then you
Oh yeah, that's me.
I still swear.
Okay, Kerwin, I'll let you do the other one.
Who's more likely to buy useless stuff?
I didn't hear that. Huh?
Who is more likely to buy useless things? Things that you don't really need. Who's the one that wastes money the most? Who wastes money the most? Who spend money on useless things the most? Who is more likely to spend like an hour in the bathroom? Who more likely to get road rage while driving? She went on that one. Who is more likely to apologize first after an argument? Who is more likely to say, I told you so? Who says yes more? Right? Who is messier? All right, the last one. Who wakes up grumpier? Tennesha, I guess that's it.
Well, thanks for playing along, guys. It seemed like most of you agreed, so you guys know each other pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So before we close out tonight, we wanted to show that video, and I apologize for the technical issues we had before where you guys couldn't hear the sound. So let's pull that back up really quickly.
Hey, sending a special shout out to Jules and Candace, a power couple in their own right, always representing the Caribbean culture, both locally and internationally. So big respect to both of you. Much love and much blessings coming out from DJ Private Ryan.
Surprise! Yo, Z, Steven, thanks a million. We appreciate you. And, you know, Puffy sending y'all love, nothing but love. You know, I always love to work with both of you. And it's always a pleasure. You guys are visionaries and truly professionals, man. True professionals for sure. And it's just a pleasure to be able to work with you guys. And we saying thank you for sharing all your knowledge and your vibes and your energy with us. And I wish you nothing but love and continued success in all of your endeavors, including the ones we got coming up, sorry. So enough love. Thank you, and God bless you.
Just sending some love out to my favorite power couple, Jules and Candace. Well, my favorite power couple is probably Kanye and Kim. So to my second favorite is probably Jay-Z and Beyonce. So my favorite local power couple, is probably Bungie and Fian, to be honest. All right, so big up to my third favorite international power couple, second favorite local power couple. But on a real, y'all have always supported me. When I launched 10 Caribbean, y'all were one of my first clients through Caesar's Army and Candy Coated. Y'all taught me a lot about how to earn and lose money, all quarantined, by beating me in Monopoly. But on a real, y'all are just a great inspiration for all young entrepreneurs. And I wish you all many more years of success and love and blessings. Big up.
To the Branch family, Lisa saying, thank you guys for being an inspiration not only to my life, but to Black lives all around the world.
I just want to thank you guys for showcasing the love that you have for each other and to your daughters. It doesn't go unnoticed. Lisa, thank you for introducing Sam into my life, for telling him years ago to get a new barber. And to Sam, I just want to say, from last week's New York Times spread to Mr. Cutters and now to Branch Patties, you have been such a success, and you have been such a motivation for me, as a father, as a girl dad, and to just be an entrepreneur. I just want to wish you and your family success and many blessings. From the Johnson's family.
Hey, it's Jay Upscale here, bringing up my fun-loving couple, my brother and sister, DJ Steven and Big Z. You know, you guys are Caribbean ambassadors, you're pioneers, and, you know, you're super hardworking and you have fun doing it. So, you know, you're a true inspiration to not only myself, but to others, you know, both professionally and business-wise. So, you know, just want to give a shout out to the dopest couple I know. Much love and light, and wishing you guys all the best. Love you.
Hi everyone, I'm Tennesha, Candace's sister. Some of you may know me as her unofficial twin sister, but it's safe to say I've known her all my life. I've known Jules for the third half of that, which is a pretty long time. From an impressionable age, I was able to see them develop and grow as individuals and as a couple. So I've always seen their support for each other. They've given me many opportunities and experiences, and they inspire me to always go beyond and push my limits. Whether you hit the targets or not, they're always there supporting. They've been a great inspiration, and I definitely appreciate having them. So I just want to say thank you, and I love you.
Big respect to Big Z and DJ Steven, one of my favorite couples and two of my closest friends who I happen to actually kind of introduce in a way. But much love to both of y'all. Another power couple and a lot of great things coming from both of y'all in the future. I know it. Y'all are going to do great things and represent us, the Caribbean people, in a big way. So big respect coming out from yours truly, DJ Private Ryan.
I'm Mackie Holder, Barber Assist Counsel General at New York. And I am here to send greetings to Sam and Lisa Lloyd Branch of Branch Patty, creative people who are taking Caribbean cuisine in a totally different direction. You know, Caribbean food, it's juicy, it's spicy, it's luscious, it's delicious. And if you want a new experience, you must try a Branch Patty. They've incorporated the Caribbean flavors with some new things like kale. There's a vegan one for you. You must try it. I want to congratulate them on the success of their business. Keep flying the Caribbean flag. Keep doing what you do. Keep pushing your product to the world. There's nothing like Caribbean food. To the branches, congratulations.
Hey Sam and Lisa, this is Ralston. Just wanted to congratulate you on your accomplishments in business. I want to thank you for all the help you've given me over the years, all the support. Just want you to know that I am here for you. I am so proud to call you friends. Thank you for all the encouragement. And just know that you motivate me, and I look up to you guys tremendously. Congratulations again. Blessings to you both.
That was an awesome video.
Yes.
Sure.
So I really enjoyed our conversation tonight. So I just want to thank you guys for being so open and so candid in our discussion. And I hope that the audience got out a lot out of what you guys had to say. And we want to thank WiTreat and Best Dressed Plate for sponsoring the event. And, you know, I just want everybody out there to continue to support Caribbean businesses. So yeah, Kerwin, is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up?
Thank you guys for a memorable evening. It's really the first time I'm on the other side of the border, you know. But it was a pleasure, and I've learned a lot about you guys. I mean, Jules and Candace, I've known you for years. Steven, and my brother Z, you know, we invite you into the family. Sam and Lisa, when I come to New York, I expect some patties. Okay. So it was a pleasure.
Oh,
And
y'all.
I wish you continued success working together as a unit. And I hope this strengthens and grows from time to time. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Blessings.
Stephen, play some music. Let's go.
Thank you.
Blessings, everybody. Jules, we can talk.
Blessings.
I didn't like your working. Follow up.
Good meeting everybody, man. Good meeting all y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Salud.
Yes. All right, salud. Bye-bye.